This is Off Script
on Dubai Eye 103.8, the UAE's #1 talk radio station.
Just coming up to 22 minutes after 5 o'clock on your Wednesday afternoon. It's myself, Robbie, and Rog with you on Off Script today, and delighted to be joined by a very special guest, Rog.
Indeed we are. We've got a friend of the show, Nick Watson from Team AngelWolf, joining us today.
Nick, how are we?
I'm good and tired.
Welcome to the studio. A nice opportunity for you to sit down on a chair, which is something that, yes, perhaps you've been seated in a seating position for quite some time, but certainly not in an inactive position, because we're very accustomed to some of the incredible challenges that you've undertaken over the years as part of Team AngelWolf, as the founding member of Team AngelWolf. And we are embarking on, or at least we're in the midst of, #Ride with Rio. So I guess just to sort of set the scene, if you like, for those tuning in who perhaps aren't familiar with Team AngelWolf, maybe let's paint a picture as to what that particular endeavour is focused on, and then perhaps what you're up to currently.
Yeah, look, and thanks again for having us on. I think everything started about 20 years ago. So Rio is now obviously 20. At 6 months old, unfortunately had his first seizure. We then realised that life was going to be very difficult. At 4.5 years later, he was diagnosed with a very rare chromosome disorder. So it's called 1q44 deletion, which leads to seizures, non-verbal. Lots of things for him are a challenge, even holding a spoon, feeding, walking, balance and stability. And then in 2014, through a bit of a journey, we kind of discovered my sport and his sport. Could we do something together with as father and son? So we started doing triathlons. So we swim, I pull him in a kayak, a bike, he sits on the front of the bike, and we've got a chair and we run together. And we're well into it. Actually, on the 23rd, we will hit our 500th race and challenge that we have done together.
Oh, wow.
We've covered about 13,000 kilometers of swimming, cycling and running. So basically Rio swam, biked and run the distance from Dubai to Australia. That's how far he's gone. And with the whole purpose to spread awareness about children with disabilities and make sure everyone's welcome, everyone's equal and everyone's included. So yeah, we set up as a non-profit under the Community Development Authority in 2016, and the goal is to continue to do what we do challenges and spread awareness and do silly challenges like we're doing this month.
How has your experience of this journey kind of changed over time, and how much have you seen growth in what you're trying to do and what you're trying to achieve?
Look, I think huge growth. I think with acceptance, I think we'll start off with maybe schools. So how schools are now being so much more inclusive. Again, that comes through KHDA. You know, there's a lot more children with determination within the school system, which is just magical. So whereas before, children with disabilities were I'd say segregated within centres of people with determination. That's making lots of change. So schools are really adapting that. We're seeing a lot more children with disabilities, hopefully now in the public. There's the Special Olympics on at the moment in Germany. So there's a big team from the UAE. So I think the awareness is getting there, but we need to continue. You know, there's always another step of accessibility. So accessibility of people with determination maybe into the workplace. But that's ever evolving, and that's where our passion is, and that's what we want to do.
So you're currently in the midst of the Ride with Rio challenge. 100 kilometres every day. You've picked the hottest month to do it in, Nick, as well. Was that deliberate?
No, it was out of necessity. It's been, I have to admit, as a non-profit, it's been hugely challenging to find sponsorship. So that's how we work. So we're looking at doing something. I was actually supposed to be this weekend in Roth in Germany. We were supposed to do our first full distance triathlon together. So that's a 3.8 swim, 180 bike and a 42k run. We did reach out to the community to find sponsors to cover the cost, because we just didn't have the money ourselves. Fortunately, that didn't came through. So I got a bit angry and I was like, let's do a challenge. I'll go cycling for a month. And that's where I am.
A full month on the road. So what does the challenge involve then?
So it's 100 kilometers with Rio. So some stats, Rio weighs 50 kilos. My bike weighs 35. Any cyclist out there, I know your carbon fiber, Roger, is probably 8 kilos.
It depends on my weight. That's the problem.
So I push 85 kilos at 3 o'clock in the morning every morning. We're up at 2:15. We're out on the bike at 3.
You're carrying an extra 10 stone, essentially.
Old school.
All told.
Yeah.
All told.
Yeah.
Wow.
Old money.
Did you say you were up at 3, did you say?
We're up at 2:15. We're on the bike at 3.
On the bike at 3.
We have to beat the heat, as you're aware. There's a couple of things. Obviously, the wind will always pick up during the day. The heat picks up. We started at 4. On the first few days. I got to day 2 and it just got too hot. Rio got hot. I was in bits. It was a tough day, really, to be honest with you. So
wow.
We're on the bike for 3.
And how long is it taking you? When are we wrapping up?
It's taking me 4.5 hours on the bike, and then we're probably taking about 30 minutes rest. We stop at 53k on the loop, and then we stop at the Zad's store. Rio, by the time he's done a couple of hours, he's like Dada juice. So he loves he gets a fresh orange juice. So we stop for an orange juice and then we smash
He's
it back
hanging
home.
on for that moment, isn't he?
That's
From
all
the
it's
start.
about. It's
From 2:15, it's the countdown to the orange juice.
100%.
And how's he finding it, Nick?
Do you know what? I don't know how to express it in the sense of you almost need to come and ride with Rio. He just loves it. He will get up at 2:15. He's sometimes up before us. He's walking downstairs. There's 2 priorities in Rio's life. One is to wear a helmet because he has to wear a helmet. That means get on the bike. And the other one's food. So he's like helmet, food, Dada, food. So he is up literally as we get up. He's downstairs. Mum helps us get him ready in the morning. And he's out there. He's out on the bike. We're normally... I love this. Every morning we do about a K, and then you get this little whimper, and it's deadly quiet. Obviously, no one's out. So I ride from Sustainable City onto the bike track, and then we do the loop. And after about a K, you get this Team AngelWolf.
Oh, wow.
And he's learned these because Rio learns everything over repetition, and these arms go up in the air, and this is like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, as a father.
Wow,
that's what motivates me to do what I do. He loves it, and it's quite extraordinary. He genuinely adores it. Comes back, gets some food, bit of a sleep, and he'll be up
You're
again
up way
tomorrow.
past your bedtime, aren't you?
When Roger said this time, I was like, mate, I'm in bed in an hour.
A couple of things then. One, it's ride with Rio. Can we ride with Rio?
You can ride with us, of course. The only thing is you do have to get up at 3 or 3-ish. So at 3 we start from Sustainable City. For those cyclists out there, we're probably 3:30 at the bottom of the stick.
Yep.
We're probably then at Zad's store by 4:30. Then it's about an hour and a half to get back. So even if people miss us at the beginning, they could go anti-clockwise and find us and come back in. It really doesn't matter.
So
it's
you 50 to the loop, and then you do the loop to complete the 100.
Yeah, so we're 102 the total distance. I'm lucky that we can get out the house. So one of our partners is Sustainable City. So we ride a little bit against the traffic on the slip road behind Leyan. We go under the underpass, and then we're on the track, and then that's the loop.
That's brilliant.
So we go out.
You're doing an extra 2K just for the hell of it, Nick.
I can't shorten that bit. I don't know how. There's no way. But it's nice because there's been some dramas as well. I think it was day 8. We'd arrived at Zad's, kind of go 3.5k out, and I get a flat. And since I've had the bike, I've had 2 flats in my life. One was in a race, Ironman. Last 5k I rode home on a flat, but we got home. So I thought, I need to go. I've got a long way to do. I'm only at like 30k. So I thought I might as well run back. So I took my shoes off, ran back to Zad's.
Pushing Rio on the
chair, yeah. My feet were all cut. So I get home, typical I'm an ex-military man. So so I get there and I'm like, I need to sort the bike out. So the guy goes, look, we don't have spares for your size, but we'll try and fix it. So we fix it, we go back out, get a flat at 7k. So I come back in and I'm like, oh my God. But I've ridden now back on a flat. And it's kind of completely distorted the wheels. But I'm like, I need to get back down the stick. If I can get 25k, I hit 100, I'm happy. So I ride out, get a K, and the wheels buckled, the wheels broken. So then we spend the rest of the day rushing around town, trying to find the right size to fix the wheel. And they're just one of the dramas. Every day's a drama.
That's amazing. Well, you're doing an incredible job so far. 21 out of 30 in the bag. So you can almost see the home straight now.
Yes.
How can people follow your progress?
Well, look, obviously our social media, so teamangelwolf.com on Instagram, obviously our website, and obviously Facebook, even LinkedIn, we post everything up on there. But the most important thing is how we've set this up is to support us as a non-profit foundation. And there's 3 reasons why we're doing this. First and foremost, to make sure we spread awareness about these beautiful children or young adults with determination and make sure they're included in the community. And the second one is that we can tell our story to as many people as possible. Over the years, we go to corporates, fantastic corporate sponsor us, and we love going to companies. But schools is our goal. I love going to schools and telling our story. Because, again, we talk about a journey, we talk about inclusion, we talk about wellness and fitness as well, sustainability. And also, obviously, as I said earlier, my daughter now presents with me. So Tia's 16, she's up on stage with me, which is just goosebumps every time I get up there now. And now the great thing about telling our talk together, the children can relate. Because before it was Dad. Dad was up on stage telling his story, but he was telling a part of Tia as well. But now she's up on stage, you can see the kids just, they're in awe. She's just got, we're still waiting, she's got a Guinness World Record doing a triathlon with Rio back in for March. So she did a 1.5 swim, 40k bike and a 10k run. We're just waiting for the approval from Guinness. Yeah. So she'll get a Guinness World Record as well. So she gets up on stage and she tells her story, and you can just see all these little kids just going, wow, because they can relate.
It's more relatable, yeah.
You know, like she's 16, maybe they're 10, 12 plus. So the goal was then, we know obviously lots of schools maybe can't afford our talk. We charge 5,000 dirhams for our talk because we're non-profit and we have to put food on the table. So we're asking people to sponsor us. So from 50 dirhams, you can go to teamangelwolf.com, find Ride with Rio, then it goes 250, then it goes 500, then 1,000, 2,500, and even 5,000. So a company can sponsor us today, go on Team Angel Wolf, and then we'll go and give that talk to those schools that get nominated. So when you go to the checkout, you choose your school. So when we finish at the end of the month, or we continue into maybe August, we will start looking at whose schools got the most nominations. Then we'll go back to the school and say, look, we can come to your school for free. Because lots of schools, some they don't have the budget. Some, you know, it's not in their remit, but they want to us to tell the story. And that's the goal.
That's amazing. TeamAngelWolf.com. Nick, thank you so much. Keep at it. I mean, why I'm even saying that to you. Of course, you're going to keep at it. You've only got 9 days to go.
9 days.
It's nothing.
Brilliant.
Brilliant stuff, Nick.